that lying to yourself. That was not cool. 3. I'm finally to the ending of the Raimi trilogy, and then I'm gonna go to the Amazing Spider-Man tomorrow. But let's talk about Spider-Man 3. It's really mixed. What I mean by that is that people view this as the worst superhero movie ever made, and then some people view it as the best superhero movie ever made. If you ask me, it's really neither, because this movie, it did have its problems, but it's not one of the worst superhero movies ever made. Like, if you want to see one of the worst superhero movies ever made, go check out Batman and Robin. But if you want to watch some of the best, then watch Logan, I guess. Tobey Maguire reprises his role as Peter Parker / Spider-Man, but when you watch this movie, he's not really Peter Parker or Spider-Man. If you have seen this movie, Peter Parker is whiny. I mean, really whiny. When he's not in the black suit, at least. Except for that part where he did have the black suit, and he's like, "You know what this is?" I don't remember, actually. He said something like that. He was holding up a ring. Something like that. Let's get away from that part. Another down part is Harry Osborn in this movie. Then he was the new Goblin in this movie. The costume is awful. The glider, if you call it a glider, it looks more like a even more futuristic hoverboard, I guess. Fight. It wasn't really a fight between Harry and Peter Parker. Harry loses his memory. He gets amnesia, and he remembers nothing for the past couple years since the first Spider-Man, except for his father died, and he forgot that Peter Parker, well, he thinks that Spider-Man killed his dad. He didn't, if you've never seen him, and he forgets everything about that. He just thinks that his dad's dead, and that's all he remembers. The Sandman in this movie, he was played by Thomas Haden Church, I believe his name is. I've seen him in a couple other movies, like Heaven is for Real. He is a good actor, and he was kind of good in this movie. I enjoyed him. But his story in this movie, it didn't belong in this movie. I mean, when you think of it, he wasn't really a bad guy. He was just a good guy trying to get money so he can cure, I guess, his daughter. And I just think that it didn't belong in this movie. Even worse, the worst part of the entire movie, second worst now that I think about it, Venom. Eddie Brock, Topher Grace. Topher Grace is Eddie Brock. I can buy that. I can buy him as Eddie Brock. But maybe if you put a couple of muscles on him, then yeah, I can buy him as Eddie Brock. But as Venom, no, he's not Venom. It's like Batman and Robin. George Clooney plays Bruce Wayne, sort of. He's more a Bruce Wayne than he is a Batman, because he's not Batman. We're going to put Sandman and Venom in one movie. You could have made that Spider-Man 4, because the only thing that we really needed in this movie was Spider-Man versus New Goblin, because the series was building up to that. In the first one, Harry Osborn feels that Norman loves Peter more. In the second one, Harry is mad at Peter because he won't tell who Spider-Man is. Now in Spider-Man 3, he knows who Peter is. He knows he's Spider-Man now. That was revealed at the ending of Spider-Man 2. The final battle at the ending of the movie, it was not good to me. Sandman, he was just this giant sand thing. It didn't work out for me. Venom in this, they got rid of him too early. He was only in for people usually say 5 seconds, but that's not it. He was really in for probably 15-20 minutes actually as Venom. But now let me just get out of the bad stuff. I loved the battle between Harry and Peter at Harry's apartment. At least I think it was about an apartment. And that's probably the only good fight in this movie. Oh wait, no, there's one more. And the fight between Spider-Man, or Black Suit Spider-Man, the symbiote, and Sandman in the train tracks, talking to Harry when he says we attack his heart. I loved that part. I even loved when the new Goblin saved Harry from getting beat up by the Sandman. That part was great. It's kind of like when you look at that part, it feels like you're making a new team, kind of like the Avengers. I don't think a lot of people like this part, but it didn't work in this movie. It was kind of sad. It was when Harry dies. Spoiler alert. Movie where Harry's just the villain, but it worked. If they're gonna do whatever they did in this movie, then you might as well just kill him off now. And I also liked the part where Peter is ripping off the symbiote at the church. And those are really the only things that are good about this movie. Something when I researched this movie, when I researched it, I just found out that when Venom, like the studio interfered in this movie and they wanted Venom in this movie, but he wasn't supposed to be in this movie. The villains of this movie was supposed to be Sandman and I think it was Vulture. So I had a feeling that this movie may not have been good anyway. It was Sandman was okay, and Vulture. Yeah, I don't know who he was gonna play by, but really all we wanted to see was the Harry versus Peter in the entire movie. That's what would have been great. And by the way, if you've seen the Homecoming trailer, Michael Keaton, the guy who played Batman and Beetlejuice, he looked great as Vulture. I keep playing back the part where he says, "Don't mess with me, I will hurt everybody you love." That makes me want to see Homecoming. He's the only reason why I want to see it. But anyway, tomorrow is my review of The Amazing Spider-Man, and I will give this movie, I say a C+. No, yeah, a C+. I don't know what that is. I think it's good. Maybe a couple problems. Okay, I think. I don't know. I don't want to grab my notebook. But anyway, I'll just give it a C+.